Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So let's start off with the Liz stuff. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's probably the best thing that has been going on besides the hook killer stuff. Liz. So Jeff tells Liz that yeah, you're the person that you shoved Reiko down the stairs. And at first, Liz gets super defensive. She's like, "No, you're lying. I don't believe anything that's come out of your mouth." I'm like, okay. Why would they just sit there and just blame it on you? I mean, yeah, granted, they are among the worst parents in the world, but why would they just sit there and just throw it on you for? So the more she thinks about it, the more that they start to talk, the more that she does remember. Now, granted, it was an accident. They did show flashbacks of, Reiko being like, "Hey, listen, you don't understand. Like when you're old enough, you understand how much more complicated it is to be an adult." They start going back and forth, and at this point, Liz is like, "Yo, listen, I'll tell your husband, okay? I'm not messing around." And one thing leads to another. They start fighting, and she gets knocked down the stairs. And they start like shoving, well, not shoving, but like pulling each other, and you know how that generally ends. So she gets knocked down the stairs, and it turns out that between a concussion and an internal bleeding, she needed a transfer. That's how she wound up contracting that disease. And so I was happy that they didn't retcon it, and it works. I know a lot of people were upset that Finn was kind of hijacking the story, but the way that it was put together, I thought it was really good. Oof. But now with that being said, I'm like, man, Liz screwed you over before y'all even met. So she gets upset, and they start telling her that that's the reason why we sent you away, and we want to protect you, and blah 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 blah. And once again, just being completely and utterly vapid, because that excuse of "this is why we sent you away" doesn't explain the years and years and years and years and years of them not being there for her when it mattered. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're still utter terrible human beings. Yeah, they're not the worst. They're not the worst parents in the world. I've seen worse, but they're pretty up there. Um, then Josh and Trina was Smith catching up. And Josh and Smith talking about how even though that they stuck together, there's still a distance between them. They're still drifting apart. And of course, Trina. See, here's the thing about advice. We're all good at giving it. We're all good at giving advice. We're never really good at giving advice to ourselves. Most of the times, we're not usually good at as far as giving advice. So while Trina's not there telling Josh to, yo, let Cam know. Whatever problems that y'all having, y'all need to sit there and try to find a way to fix them. And of course, Josh is like, well, if I tell him that, then things are just gonna get worse, and yada, just making up a bunch of BS excuses. But Trina's like, yo, talk to him. Now, of course, when I sit there and say giving good advice and not giving it to yourself, this is where we run into Trina just being confused. I'm confused, and I know a lot of people are going to sit there and make the excuse of, well, she's young and she's going to make mistakes, and that's all good for everyone that's going to give her like a pass or whatever. I'm not doing that personally. I think that she should. I'm not going to do that. So she tells Josh about, her time with Rory and them making out, and her thinking about Spencer. And, of course, Josh was like, see, the thing is, Josh uses the whole, oh, we should sit there and follow our heads, not follow our hearts, because people tend to disappoint us like Sonny. Let's just, whatever. So that happens. And she basically is there telling Trina to just stick with Rory, stick with the good guy. Um, I'm like, Trina, you know what? Why don't you just sit there and be honest? Because the one thing that people don't like is somebody who is dealing with somebody who's confused. I'm confused. I still have feelings for Spencer, and that's fine. Here's the thing, that's fine. But be honest. That's the issue that I have. It's not so much as the confusing part, it's the being honest part is what is just annoying me about her. So with Alexis gets she gets a note from the killer, and she calls Jordan and Dante. They get down there, and long story short, Alexis wants to sit there and publish the note. She wants to publish the letter. Basically, this person's like, yo, mind your business. I'm going after people that wrong me. If you don't want to be next, just pretty much stay out of my way. I'm not about the spotlight. Um, Alexis wants to publish it, and Jordan's like, don't do that because Haggerty and what's his name? Oz, yeah, Oz. I think his name is Haggerty, but we'll call him Oz. I don't know if I got his last name right, but yeah, Oz is being a victim because she wants to sit there and kind of provoke the killer. Now, granted, at the end of the day, you can sit there and blame Alexis for provoking this person, but this person was going to go after Oz anyway. And let's just say, even if this person got upset and went after somebody else, I'm not going to put that on Alexis for this person making bad choices with their lives. Um, but Jordan's like, listen, I'll do you a solid. If you hold up, if hold out on the story, I'll give you an exclusive that I won't really give to anyone else. Like, just keep this information all to yourself. So when she leaves, of course, she tells Gregory, and Gregory gets down there, and she tells Gregory that the hook killer, threatened her. I don't exactly remember what else happens after that point. I know they start talking, and I don't remember what he said he wanted her to do. But basically, I think he said that he wanted her to just be careful. I think that was about it. Well, it's good to have Liesel back. It's good to have Albert back. I don't know. I felt like her attitude towards Cody was like, "All right, well, we get it. He punched Scott and he apologized, and it's like, all right, just I don't know. The hostility that she had towards Cody was just starting to get kind of annoying after a while. Cody snipped there telling Scotty that he apologized for hitting him, and he understands that Scott and Dominique they had a thing, and he's sorry for his loss or whatever. So they get to talking, and of course they talk about the necklace and the glass and everything. Now apparently that theory about the whole making sure something is real isn't entirely true. I think she named like another type of crystal or metal, not metal, but some other type of thing that you could sit there and scratch and doesn't necessarily prove that it's real or fake. Um, and of course, she tells, well, Britt tells Obrick that I didn't tell her, I didn't tell him about the Huntington's disease. And also told her just to calm down a little bit, like, yo, listen, this dude's going through a lot with the paternity and everything like that. I need you to kind of just lay off of him for a little bit. Now, Harley is about to tell Sam about her relationship with Drew, and Drew stops her. Like, hey, yeah, we did this, we did that, or whatever. Oh, Carly, can I just talk to you for a minute? And he tells Carly about the insider trading and about their relationship and how they can't go public because, she can either face a lot of fines or go to jail. But my whole thing is, okay, I guess it's starting to make sense now. Because at first I was like, what did him being in a relationship have anything to do with, if she's going to be found out for insider trading or whatever? Like, if she's going to be, caught or whatever. But my whole thing is like, either if they're in a relationship or not, she can still get caught for insider trading. I mean, let's just sit there and cut Drew aside. There's still the Michael angle of their relationship together and how easily it would be to prove that she got inside information. So this whole, well, we're gonna have to sit there and just kind of take a break for a little bit, not be public until everything blows over, doesn't really hold up. It really doesn't. And I only thought of that. I actually thought of that as I was sitting there talking. I was like, wait, doesn't really matter about the Drew angle because then there's the Michael angle. Anyway, Carly agreed to just kind of, keep things low profile until everything blows over, which I'm going to be honest. Here's the thing. I don't think that Ned would sit there and tell on Drew and Carly. But I do feel like the information is going to come out some way. Some way, somehow, even if it's not by Ned, it's going to come out and there's going to be some problems. There's going to be problems, and I don't know if Diane's going to be up to the task. Because, she's still laid up and everything. Also, on a side note, I will sit there and say this before I finish my review, but I want to apologize for yesterday's review. I don't know what happened. I deleted the video because I did do a review yesterday, but I must have accidentally deleted it because whenever I get done with my reviews, for some odd reason, I always keep it up. Like I always keep it on my laptop. And a lot of times I, keep the ones, the prior ones, and somehow I uploaded the wrong review, and I do want to apologize for that, because I actually did. I was like, no. I did do a review. Oh, actually, to tell you the truth, I must have been slipping, because I put the wrong date on my Days of Our Lives review, and it was a good thing that Shakira told me, because I was like, oh. Sorry about that. I thought that was a text message, and it turned out it was just something from Starbucks, since I've been pretty much kind of going there almost every day before I go to work, because that's my new thing. Now, I was saying to the barista, because at this point, they just know what I want whenever I go in there. I'm like, yep, I've been here for a while. What else happened? Oh, so Sam is there telling Spinelli, like, yo, did you delete the app yet? And he was like, And so Sam was like, listen, since you didn't do that, I want you to look into Cody. Look into Cody, make sure he is copacetic. Since he is going to be spending time with your family, with Maxie and everything like that, and Dante, I want to make sure he's on the up and up. So after this long, drawn-out talk, he finally agrees to do it. Jordan also comes over to talk to Joss, and Carly eventually gets in there, and Jordan tells Joss that she was the intended target. And of course, Trina put two and two together, and it's like, yeah, because that's probably directly tied into me. And that's pretty much where it ends. So let me just double check to make sure I got everything. Now, before I do go, I don't know if this Britt was coughing. Like, Cody was meant to tell him some jokes about, his rodeo days and stuff like that. And I don't know if Britt was just laughing too hard or if she, was drinking something and it went down the wrong pipe. But she started coughing a lot. And, Britt had that look on her face of worry. So I don't know if it's signs of this Huntington's disease or something, but, I figured I'd mention it because I was like, they didn't really put that much of a big emphasis on it, so I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.